most cases, organisations select key suppliers who have the ability to deliver a great service to you. However, once the contract has been signed and the supplier goes to work, the service you receive doesn't always match expectations. The question that SRM addresses is, why does this happen, and what can you do about it? Whatever the product or service that your supplier delivers, it will involve inputs to which the supplier applies a process. These in turn produce outputs which deliver outcomes for you, the buyer. An example is that of a consultancy project aimed at producing a new organisational design. The inputs to this are typically number of consultants, their daily fee rate, and their expertise and experience. The process is the methodology that the consultants apply to deliver the project. Typically, the outputs will be an organisation structure, roles and responsibilities, and job descriptions. One outcome from the assignment should be higher retention rates, because there will be a better match between applicants for jobs and the requirements of those jobs, and because there will be a more clearly defined career path. Typical inputs from suppliers include their capability, knowledge and experience, as well as their dependability, reliability and responsiveness. The process element of your supplier's offering includes an approach to identifying and understanding your needs, as well as project management skills. These elements will vary depending on what you are buying, so you should give careful consideration to identifying the attributes the supplier needs during your supplier selection process. The outputs from the supplier's process vary from the quality of work done to the timeliness of delivery. As with the process element, you'll need to specify these carefully when contracting. Finally, the outcome element should deliver what you need. Value for money is one obvious outcome, but you should also identify the outcomes that your users of the product or service require. What we often do at the start of an SRM program is to evaluate the value that is being lost in engaging with key suppliers. We do this through a questionnaire, asking a cross-section of people to score the supplier against each of the criteria outlined above, on a scale from very good to poor. When we analyse the scores, we often find the results demonstrated here. Suppliers are often rated very highly on the input scores, in other words their capability and experience. However, as we work through the process, outputs and outcomes, the scores generally decline until value for money is usually the lowest score. In other words, people believe that value is lost once actual delivery of the purchased goods or services starts. What we recommend is that you assess the lost value for some of your key suppliers using an abbreviated version of the questionnaire we have just discussed. Start by listing your top 5 suppliers. Then create 3 columns and name them capability, delivery and value for money. Now consider your first supplier and whether or not you think that supplier is capable of delivering a good service. If your answer is yes, then put a tick in column 1 against this supplier. If the answer is no, then put a cross. Complete column 1 for all 5 suppliers. Next, consider whether or not your first supplier is delivering a quality result. This is column 2. And whether or not they are consequently delivering value for money. This is column 3. Put a tick in columns 2 and 3 if your answer is yes, and a cross if the answer is no. Now complete the exercise for the remaining 4 suppliers. The result from this exercise will give you a feel for whether value is being lost with these 5 suppliers. Generally, if column 3 has fewer ticks than columns 1 and 2, then you are losing value. Finally, why not share this exercise with your colleagues and see if there is a consensus view on lost value? If there is, then this is the start of building a business case for SRM.